Looking for a special pistol caliber carbine? I just happen to have one that I am reviewing. Stay tuned, because I am going to tell you all about it. This channel fully endorses the safe operation of firearms and that firearms must be handled responsibly at all times. Any firearm used for this presentation has been checked and rechecked to ensure safe manipulation of the firearm during any video production. Since I already own 3 high-point carbines, chambered in 9mm, 45 ACP, and 10mm, it seemed logical to close the caliber gap with a 40 Smith & Wesson version. Normally, one would question that logic, but since I have a few semi-automatic pistols chambered in 40 Smith & Wesson, a PCC chambered in the same caliber makes sense, at least to me. And let me tell you, this was not an easy find. It eluded me for quite a while. I had, I don't know how many let me know when available buttons pressed on various sites, with just as many no responses. I just happened to stumble across this one at a site that I cannot mention. YouTube restrictions and all. But this one was new and in the box. What more can a fella ask? I am foregoing the basic specifications of the 4095 TS for this review, since it seems that most of my viewers think it unnecessary. So, I'll fast forward to the features, or at least the ones I think that count. Besides, except for a few things, specifications for one high-point carbine are about the same as another. I would rather cover what I am doing with this particular carbine. First of all, I wanted to keep the stock sights. Normally, I would remove them for running an optic, magnified or not. My second update, as with my other high-point carbines, was the addition of a Magpul AFG angled foregrip, which allows my sport hand to get a more natural hand position on the forearm. Since the carbine only comes with one magazine, 3 additional high-point 10-round magazines were ordered. I have found, through experience with high-point carbines, that the high-point magazines seem to outperform other brands of magazines for the carbine. The reliability of high-point carbines has been proven, at least with my experience with them, so I think that it is more important to focus in on performance. With that said, I would say that it's time to head to the range and see how we both perform. This is going to be a 2-part range segment, with the first segment at my favorite indoor range for initial run-in, and the second taking place at my favorite outdoor range with singing and swinging steel targets. As my usual, I will be making comments throughout the sessions along with a summary, just to let you know what's happening.
A short time later.
moly, what a wonderful day to be at my favorite outdoor range. It's about 0900 hours or so, with a temperature somewhere around 62 degrees Fahrenheit, 78% humidity, and a 5-mile-per-hour wind out of the southwest heading to the northeast. Not bad at all for a mid-February day. This is going to be short-lived, so I am going to enjoy the day the best way I know how, polluting the air while ringing some steel. So let me get to that. With targets from 17 yards to 37 yards, it's going to be interesting how the High Point 4095 TS carbine and I are going to work together. We did well during the initial run-in and dot optic zero session. The CV Life Jackal Howell dot optic I may have to tweak a bit, but it should be only a small bit. Let's pick up on the shooting part.
And with a mustache like that, I don't think I got anything.
This is my expert right here. He knows more than I do.
Dude, I can't get my mustache to do that for like.
You have to let it grow and never trim it. That's the trick. It's so annoying.
Come on.
As you could tell, the Hi-Point 4095 TS carbine, which is chambered for the 40 Smith & Wesson cartridge, can hold its own in terms of handling and accuracy. While on the heavy side, that heaviness translates into less felt recoil at the shoulder, with the assistance of the spring-loaded butt plate, of course. Bulky? Yes, it is definitely not svelte in any mention of the word. You will feel, although it looks like a toy in some ways, that you are holding a serious piece of work, and not some fold-up or take-down doll of a PCC. That matters to some. The trigger is on the heavy side and stiff at first. It started to break in nicely, however, the more it was pulled. The stock sights are more than adequate once you get past the looks and height of the front sight, which reminds me of a gargoyle hanging off the side of a building. The rear sight is fully adjustable for windage, while the front sight is adjustable for elevation. Put an optic on the 4095 TS, however, and it is a game changer, leaving the impression that the 4095 TS is more of a precision firearm than first thought. In addition, the 40 Smith & Wesson cartridge has proven itself to be a viable self-defense cartridge, while bridging a gap between the 9mm and 45 ACP, and the 4095 TS is quite capable of sending it downrange. The downside, probably for me and others, would be that the operating handle is on the tricky side to manipulate. It is small and the recoil spring is heavy. Plus, the charging handle must be pulled fully to the rear and fully disengaged from the receiver to chamber a cartridge. That may be troublesome to some folks, but it can be trained through. I have ordered an extended charging handle that, I hope, will make operating easier. Only use will tell. Okay, that wraps up the range sessions. Now, let me get to my final thoughts regarding the Hi-Point 4095 TS carbine. If you favor the 40 Smith & Wesson cartridge, you just might favor the Hi-Point 4095 TS as a reasonable and inexpensive firearm to fire them through. Granted that the 4095 TS has some weight and bulk to it, but that and a spring-loaded buttstock have some things going for it with regard to recoil management. The Hi-Point 4095 TS is just a hoot to shoot, with or without optics. There seems to be a renewed interest in PCCs these days, and while not as refined as some, nor fold in half, nor separate into two major components, Hi-Point carbines just offer a reliable and inexpensive means of sending your favorite fodder downrange, and pretty effectively, if you ask me. Well, that's going to be a wrap of another chapter in the Range Ronin Chronicles. I hope that you enjoyed it and found it useful. Be sure to join me for future reviews. By the way, I have provided links to my other Hi-Point carbine reviews in the description section should you be interested in the 4595 TS or the 1095 TS. Also, a review of the 995 TS is around the corner. So, I hope to see you soon, as I enjoy sharing my firearm journeys with you. Until next time, take care of yourself. Be vigilant, be armed, and be safe wherever your journeys take you.